Greetings, YouTube. LMS Tactical here. Don't have anything really prepared to say. I just realized I hadn't updated, and I want to do a quick update. I'll probably do a longer sort of a tribute to my father. For those that don't know, my father did pass away the day after the video where I was praying for him, or that night actually. Um, he passed away in the hospital there, so he didn't make it. I have a lot to say about that and how that all went down, but I'll save that for when I'm in a better state of mind. I'm at his apartment now, and I'm going through the paperwork, and anybody that's had somebody die in their family knows it's a grim task when you're going through cleaning up and touching the last things that they touched. You see the little schedule. He died on the 13th, and he had plans on the 13th, and he had plans after that in his calendar. So that's a reminder to us all that we got no guarantees over the as far as how many days we have left. My father was 85 years old, so he lived a good long life. He the way he went wasn't too great at the beginning, but at the end, he died in a nice clean bed with pain medicine and a nurse holding his hand. And I know I and many of us have seen people die a hell of a lot worse, man. I've seen people wrapped around telephone poles and breathing their last breaths in the middle of the night, and the only person they had was me standing there. So there's certainly a lot of worse ways to go. I wish my father didn't end up the way he did, for the days prior to me finding him. But he's gone. He's I always joked around. He said, "Well, I'll probably be like Beethoven. I'll be famous after I'm dead." Because he always felt resentful that he mastered the art of his jazz, of bebop jazz, right at the time it went out of style. I mean, so there's a very limited audience for his kind of jazz. But he is or was the best clarinet player in that genre. I think that's it's debatable, but he's critically acclaimed, and there's plenty of articles. If you ever get bored or you're interested in jazz, Google my father. He also wrote articles, a lot of articles. The Morton Report is the name of them. You could probably find him on Google, but you can certainly hear his music all over YouTube. I did a couple interviews with him. He did some interviews on radio shows and things. I'll try to get those up too, just on his behalf. I think those things should be preserved for history. He was an interesting man, had a lot to offer this world. He lived it on his own terms, that's for sure. And he had a good life, he really did. I didn't really get to know him too well till I got out of the Army, but he was a business owner. He raced his sailboat, from Newport Beach to Ensenada, Mexico, all the time. I was on one of those races with him in 1986. I can show you a picture of his boat here, him on the boat. I wonder if I can turn this around without losing. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So that's his boat, and he named it Different Drummer, which is pretty much how he saw himself. That's my dad there, waving at the helicopter. And that's his buddies on a race. Let's see, this guy with his back to us. No. Yeah, I think it's this guy with his back to us. He was an officer in Vietnam. He passed away, a while back. But yeah, how many people can say that they, had a sailboat? I can't say that. So anyways, I just wanted to touch base and let you guys know that I haven't forgotten you, and I'm getting through all the particulars. I gotta deal with the arrangements with my father and all of that stuff. But stand by, and I'll eventually get back and put some cool stuff out here. In the meantime, you guys take care of yourselves, and if you have any elderly people in your lives, or you're elderly, get a life alert. Don't mess around, or get something equivalent. There's one thing I've learned here is how often this happens to older people, meaning that they fall on the floor and get trapped for hours and days, and many times die like that, and it's not a way to go. You guys stay safe. I'm out of here at LMS Tactical.